goal was to get them to, as like I said, these were cultural pieces to promote creativity, and that was the main goal. We've used it for a lot more presentation and like customized presentations. So one of the things we worked with your team was creating an EI home button where it would be a one-click shortcut that opens up a session that shows off our poster boards, the technical summaries of some of our findings, most current and well-known findings, and being able to pull those up anywhere in the building and be able to talk to a potential donor or a guest or a patient who's walking through to tell them how we're making an impact to them or their loved ones. And so that was something that we hoped for, but we're seeing a lot more of that than we thought. The other thing is that we have one of the T1Vs in our main Leonardo auditorium. We have it hooked up to a gigantic, like a 16-foot LED wall. And we've used the T1V to do presentations in there that allow annotation, to be able to, when people ask questions, to be able to pull documents that are further out in the canvas that are not visible in the space, and to be able to bring those in. And it just adds it has an element of being prepared, but also that it's so easily accessible. I mean, we've seen movies where they just use their hands to blow things up and bring things or pull resources from other areas. And we're starting to see the beginnings of that. And I think that's been quite effective for our presenters.
Earlier you mentioned some adjustments maybe that you'd made to your ThinkHub solution. So you mentioned the EI home button that launches maybe a certain canvas. Is that right?
Yeah, basically it's a templated canvas that has pre-populated information in there. So we have our posters, we have video cameras in a lot of our labs because we walk patients through our building and they can't always go into the lab. So we have cameras that show what our scientists are working on. And part of the process is because we do have a clinic on site here, and they're in between their chemo periods, they walk through the building. Our whole goal is to create hope for these patients, that if not for them, for future generations of people, that there'll be a relief from pain and suffering and the elongating of life and quality of life. And so showing people that tangible things that we are doing is super, super important. So we have these video feeds that come into the T1V, and they're all on there. And we could talk about, if we talked about a paper or a poster, that we could show them that these are the people in this particular lab that are working on that area of the science. And then we also have a section where we have like digital profiles of all of our people. So as somebody might be sharing with somebody, and for instance, we do education, and we have Keon here, and this is him and his team and how they affect trying to create a next generation of future scientists. Or we have JK in here, his team, and they're looking at metabolics and proteomics and all these long 17-letter words that I can't even pronounce to analyze different parts of how cancer is growing and talking to healthy cells in our body.